My child, stop for a moment. Do not scroll away, because what you are about to hear is not an ordinary message. Your heart did not arrive here by accident, and neither did this moment. There is a reason these words found you today. Stay until the end, because something huge is waiting for you. A truth that has remained hidden is slowly rising to the surface, and when you finally understand it, you will never look at this situation the same way again. Your person tried with everything they had to hide their tears. They smiled when others were watching. They changed the subject whenever your name came close to the conversation. They convinced themselves that nobody would ever notice what was happening inside them. But the heart has a language that cannot stay silent forever. No matter how carefully someone hides their emotions, the truth always leaves gentle footprints behind. And those footprints have begun leading everyone toward one unexpected name, yours. Do not skip this moment. Every sentence is building toward something that may answer questions you have carried much longer than you realize. There were people around your person who believed they understood everything about them. They thought they knew every habit, every routine, every reason behind every smile. Yet they could not explain why your person suddenly became quiet whenever a certain memory appeared. They noticed long pauses. They noticed eyes looking into the distance. They noticed smiles that disappeared too quickly. At first they dismissed it. Then they became curious. Then curiosity became certainty. They finally realized those hidden emotions had one unmistakable connection. Somehow, every road led back to you. Think carefully. Have you ever felt someone remembering you even when they were nowhere near you? Have you ever experienced a quiet moment where your heart suddenly felt heavier without explanation? Sometimes hearts recognize each other long before words ever do. Sometimes emotions travel farther than distance can measure. That invisible connection has been growing stronger, even while neither of you fully understood it. What seemed like silence was never empty. It was filled with unspoken feelings waiting for the right moment to be understood. Stay with me because this story is only beginning to unfold. Something extraordinary happened when your person believed nobody was paying attention. They were holding themselves together with remarkable strength. Every conversation sounded normal. Every smile looked convincing. Every response appeared calm. But inside, they were carrying one question that refused to disappear. What if I never tell them how much they truly mean to me? That question became heavier every single day until even ordinary moments became difficult to hide. One afternoon, someone close to them noticed something unusual. It was not dramatic. It was not loud. It was only one quiet second where your person's eyes became filled with emotion after hearing your name mentioned unexpectedly. That single second changed everything. The room continued talking, but one person had already seen what nobody else had noticed before. A hidden feeling had revealed itself without permission. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The days that followed became impossible to ignore. Your person tried harder than ever to appear unaffected. They laughed when everyone laughed. They joined conversations. They stayed busy. Yet every attempt to move forward somehow circled back toward thoughts of you. Even when they focused on other things, your memory quietly found its way into the smallest corners of their day. A familiar song. A familiar place. A familiar expression on someone's face. Everything reminded them that certain feelings cannot simply disappear because someone decides they should. Meanwhile, the people around them began connecting pieces of a puzzle that had remained unfinished for far too long. They noticed how quickly your person changed the subject whenever relationships were mentioned. They noticed unexpected silence whenever future plans were discussed. They noticed kindness becoming mixed with quiet sadness. Eventually one simple question was asked. Is there someone you cannot forget? Your person smiled gently, but never answered. That silence spoke louder than any explanation ever could. Pause here and listen carefully. Sometimes the strongest confession is not spoken aloud. Sometimes it is revealed through everything someone cannot say. Your person believed silence would protect everyone involved. Instead, silence revealed the very truth they hoped would remain hidden. Hearts have remarkable ways of telling stories without using words. If these words are reaching you deeply, quietly type the angel number that has been appearing most often in your life. Keep listening, because what comes next may connect more pieces than you expect. There is another detail almost nobody knows. Your person has replayed conversations with you more times than they could ever admit. They remember little moments that everyone else forgot. Small smiles. Ordinary words. Passing glances. To everyone else, those moments disappeared long ago. To your person, they became unforgettable memories carefully stored inside their heart. They wondered whether you remembered them too. They wondered if the same invisible thread still connected both of you. Those questions never truly left. Stay until the end. Do not leave now. The biggest realization has not arrived yet. One evening, someone unexpectedly mentioned your future during an ordinary conversation. Nobody expected your person's reaction. They became unusually quiet. They looked away for only a moment, believing nobody noticed. But everyone noticed. Their eyes filled with emotion they could no longer completely hide. There were no dramatic words. No emotional speech. Only one silent moment that answered every question people had been asking for months. At that instant, those around them understood there was someone deeply important inside their heart, and somehow every clue pointed toward you. That realization spread quietly. Not through gossip, but through understanding. People stopped asking unnecessary questions. They simply observed. They saw hope whenever your name appeared. They saw sadness whenever distance was mentioned. They saw quiet joy whenever unexpected memories returned. Without saying a single direct sentence, your person had already revealed what they spent so long trying to protect. Do not skip this final moment because something even greater is approaching. The story is far from over. The hidden emotions that everyone has finally begun noticing are only the beginning of a much larger revelation. Soon, someone will say something unexpected that changes how your person sees everything they believed about this connection. When that moment arrives, nothing will remain the same, and what happens next may surprise even those who thought they already understood the whole story. A quiet moment changed everything, and nobody in that room expected what they were about to discover. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The truth is becoming impossible to hide now. Your person believed they had mastered the art of pretending. They thought one deep breath, one small smile, and one quick change of topic would be enough to convince everyone that they had moved on. But hearts do not follow rehearsed performances. They reveal themselves when nobody expects them to. That is exactly what happened. One ordinary conversation suddenly became unforgettable because someone asked a simple question that carried an extraordinary answer. Why do you always become silent whenever that person's name is mentioned? The room became still. Your person smiled for only a second, but their eyes answered before their voice ever could. In that single moment, everyone realized the tears they had been hiding were never random. They had one reason: you. Stay with this message because the next few moments connect everything together. There is something your person never admitted to anyone. Long after everyone else had fallen asleep, they replayed memories that seemed ordinary to the world but extraordinary to their heart. They remembered words you had forgotten saying. They remembered moments you never realized mattered. They remembered kindness that looked small from the outside but felt life-changing on the inside. Those memories quietly became their safest place. Every time they tried to forget, another memory appeared stronger than the last. That is why hiding their emotions became harder every single day. Don't skip now. Something huge is waiting for you. The people around your person slowly noticed a pattern that could no longer be ignored. Whenever someone mentioned new beginnings, your person's attention disappeared. Whenever someone spoke about moving forward, they looked away. Whenever your name unexpectedly entered the conversation, their expression softened without permission. Nobody needed an explanation anymore. The answer had already appeared in silence. Sometimes silence becomes the loudest confession a heart can ever make. Right here, pause for 1 second. If these words are touching your heart, type the angel number you keep seeing again and again. Keep listening, because the biggest revelation has not arrived yet. Days later, something even more surprising happened. Someone close to your person quietly said, "You still care, don't you?" There was no immediate reply. No denial. No excuse. Only eyes filled with emotion they could not completely hide anymore. That tiny pause became the answer everyone had been searching for. Suddenly every unexplained moment from the past began making sense. Every quiet evening. Every distant smile. Every unfinished sentence. Every hidden tear. Everything pointed toward the same person, you. Stay till the end because this is where the story begins changing forever. Your person finally understood something they had spent so long running away from. Feelings do not disappear simply because they are hidden. They become stronger when they are ignored. The more they tried to lock their emotions away, the louder their heart spoke through ordinary moments. Even strangers noticed a change in them. They became kinder. Quieter. More thoughtful. Deep inside, one hope refused to disappear. They still wondered whether destiny could create another unexpected moment between both of you. Do not leave yet. Something huge is waiting for you. Very soon, someone who has quietly watched this entire journey will say words that nobody expects. Those words will leave your person completely speechless. The hidden tears that everyone finally noticed are only the beginning. A much greater truth is about to come into the light, and when it does, every unanswered question will suddenly begin fitting together in a way nobody imagined. Nobody was prepared for what happened next, because the person who finally spoke had been silently watching everything from the beginning. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The hidden story is no longer staying hidden. Every tear your person tried to bury has started leading everyone toward one undeniable truth. They thought they had successfully protected their heart. Instead, every quiet moment became another clue pointing directly to you. The room felt ordinary until one unexpected voice broke the silence. "I don't think they're pretending anymore." Those words changed the entire atmosphere. Everyone looked toward your person, expecting them to laugh it off or quickly change the subject. But this time, something was different. They lowered their eyes, took a slow breath, and remained completely silent. That silence lasted only a few seconds, yet it felt long enough to answer every question nobody had dared to ask before. At that moment, every person in the room realized the emotions they had been witnessing for weeks had one clear reason. Your name had become the feeling your person could never escape. Don't skip now. The biggest revelation has not happened yet. Your person walked away from that conversation believing nobody would follow. They wanted one quiet moment to gather themselves. They stood alone, looking into the distance, wondering why every attempt to forget you only brought them closer to memories they could never erase. They whispered something so softly that almost nobody could hear. But one person standing nearby heard enough to understand everything. They didn't hear your entire sentence. They heard only your name. Spoken with more honesty than any conversation your person had ever had. From that moment forward, nothing felt ordinary anymore. The people around them stopped asking random questions because they already knew the answer. They noticed your person smiling whenever hope appeared. They noticed their expression changing whenever someone spoke about second chances. They noticed how carefully they protected every memory connected to you, as if even the smallest detail had become priceless. Suddenly, everyone understood why those hidden tears had never disappeared. They were never signs of weakness. They were quiet reminders of someone who still occupied the deepest place inside their heart. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. There is another part of this story that almost nobody knows. Your person kept one special memory alive that they never shared with anyone. It was not a grand moment. It was something so simple that most people would have forgotten it within days. Yet for your person, it became the memory they returned to whenever life felt uncertain. That single memory reminded them of your kindness, your presence, and the possibility that perhaps the story between both of you was never completely finished. While everyone else believed time had moved forward, your person quietly remained connected to that unforgettable moment. Right here, pause for 1 second. If you're still listening, type the angel number that appears most often in your life. Then keep watching, because what comes next may be the missing piece you've been waiting to hear. Days later, something happened that nobody expected. Someone looked directly at your person and asked one simple question. If they stood in front of you today, what would you say? The room became completely still. There were many possible answers. But your person gave none of them. Instead, their eyes filled with quiet emotion once again. That single reaction spoke louder than 1,000 conversations ever could. In that instant, everyone understood that the tears had never been about losing hope. They had always been about protecting feelings too meaningful to explain. Don't skip. Stay with this until the very end because the next chapter changes everything. Someone is about to reveal a truth your person never expected anyone to discover. It is a truth that has been quietly growing behind every smile, every memory, and every hidden tear. Once those words are finally spoken, your person will have no choice but to face what their heart has known all along, and when that moment arrives, nothing between the past and the future will ever feel the same again. Nobody was prepared for what happened next, because the person who finally spoke had been silently watching everything from the beginning. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The hidden story is no longer staying hidden. Every tear your person tried to bury has started leading everyone toward one undeniable truth. They thought they had successfully protected their heart. Instead, every quiet moment became another clue pointing directly to you. The room felt ordinary until one unexpected voice broke the silence. I don't think they're pretending anymore. Those words changed the entire atmosphere. Everyone looked toward your person, expecting them to laugh it off or quickly change the subject. But this time, something was different. They lowered their eyes, took a slow breath, and remained completely silent. That silence lasted only a few seconds, yet it felt long enough to answer every question nobody had dared to ask before. At that moment, every person in the room realized the emotions they had been witnessing for weeks had one clear reason. Your name had become the feeling your person could never escape. Don't skip now. The biggest revelation has not happened yet. Your person walked away from that conversation believing nobody would follow. They wanted one quiet moment to gather themselves. They stood alone, looking into the distance, wondering why every attempt to forget you only brought them closer to memories they could never erase. They whispered something so softly that almost nobody could hear. But one person standing nearby heard enough to understand everything. They didn't hear your entire sentence. They heard only your name, spoken with more honesty than any conversation your person had ever had. From that moment forward, nothing felt ordinary anymore. The people around them stopped asking random questions because they already knew the answer. They noticed your person smiling whenever hope appeared. They noticed their expression changing whenever someone spoke about second chances. They noticed how carefully they protected every memory connected to you, as if even the smallest detail had become priceless. Suddenly, everyone understood why those hidden tears had never disappeared. They were never signs of weakness. They were quiet reminders of someone who still occupied the deepest place inside their heart. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. There is another part of this story that almost nobody knows. Your person kept one special memory alive that they never shared with anyone. It was not a grand moment. It was something so simple that most people would have forgotten it within days. Yet for your person, it became the memory they returned to whenever life felt uncertain. That single memory reminded them of your kindness, your presence, and the possibility that perhaps the story between both of you was never completely finished. While everyone else believed time had moved forward, your person quietly remained connected to that unforgettable moment. Right here, pause for 1 second. If you're still listening, type the angel number that appears most often in your life. Then keep watching, because what comes next may be the missing piece you've been waiting to hear. Days later, something happened that nobody expected. Someone looked directly at your person and asked one simple question. If they stood in front of you today, what would you say? The room became completely still. There were many possible answers. But your person gave none of them. Instead, their eyes filled with quiet emotion once again. That single reaction spoke louder than 1,000 conversations ever could. In that instant, everyone understood that the tears had never been about losing hope. They had always been about protecting feelings too meaningful to explain. Don't skip. Stay with this until the very end because the next chapter changes everything. Someone is about to reveal a truth your person never expected anyone to discover. It is a truth that has been quietly growing behind every smile, every memory, and every hidden tear. Once those words are finally spoken, your person will have no choice but to face what their heart has known all along, and when that moment arrives, nothing between the past and the future will ever feel the same again. The next few moments changed your person's heart forever, because someone finally said out loud what everyone had only been thinking. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. What happened next was impossible to predict. Your person believed they still had time to keep their feelings hidden, but life had already started revealing the truth one piece at a time. Every hidden tear, every quiet smile, every unexpected silence had become part of a story that could no longer remain unseen. One trusted friend finally looked at your person and calmly said, "You don't miss the past, you miss one person." Those words landed with incredible weight. For a brief moment, your person tried to smile as though it meant nothing. But before they could answer, emotion appeared in their eyes once again. Nobody interrupted. Nobody laughed. The silence itself became the confirmation everyone had been waiting for. They realized your person was not carrying ordinary memories. They were carrying a heart that had never truly stopped thinking about you. Stay with this message because the biggest turning point is still ahead. After that conversation ended, your person walked away with one question echoing inside their mind. What if I have been hiding my feelings from everyone, including myself? That question refused to disappear. Every place reminded them of a conversation. Every familiar sound reminded them of your presence. Even ordinary days suddenly felt different because your memory quietly returned when they least expected it. Don't skip now. Something huge is waiting for you. There is one detail almost nobody knows. Your person kept something connected to you for much longer than anyone realized. It could have been a message, a photograph, a simple gift, or even a single sentence you once shared. They never threw it away. They never forgot where it was. Every time life became confusing, they found themselves returning to that small reminder because it brought them peace that nothing else could replace. If this story is touching your heart, pause for a second and type the angel number you have been seeing lately. Keep watching because another unbelievable moment is about to unfold. Soon afterward, another unexpected conversation took place. Someone asked your person, if you had one chance to speak honestly without fear, who would you choose to talk to? This time there was no hesitation in their expression. Their eyes softened immediately. A quiet smile appeared for only a second before disappearing again. That tiny reaction revealed everything words had been trying to hide. The people around them exchanged knowing looks because they finally understood the answer without hearing a single name. Stay till the end. The story is building towards something extraordinary. Your person has started realizing that some connections never disappear simply because time passes. The strongest feelings are often the quietest ones. They do not demand attention. They patiently wait until the right moment arrives. Every hidden tear has now become part of a much greater journey, and that journey is leading toward a decision that nobody expected. Before we continue, if these messages have found your heart more than once, write 111 in the comments and keep listening. Sometimes a simple act of faith reminds us that the right message always reaches the right person at the right time. Don't leave yet. Something huge is waiting for you. The next chapter begins with one unexpected meeting, one unforgettable sentence, and one truth that your person can no longer keep hidden. The moment that follows will answer questions that have remained silent for far too long, and when those words are finally spoken, everyone who witnessed the hidden tears will finally understand why they all began. Because of you, everything changed with one unexpected sentence, and your person never saw it coming. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The moment everyone had been sensing finally arrived, but it unfolded in a way nobody could have predicted. Your person believed they could continue carrying these emotions in silence forever. They thought time would slowly erase every memory connected to you. Instead, time only made those memories brighter, clearer, and impossible to ignore. Then someone quietly said, "The reason you keep looking back isn't because you're stuck, it's because your heart never truly let go." Those words froze the entire conversation. Your person didn't argue. They didn't explain. They simply closed their eyes for a brief moment, as though they had finally heard the truth they had been avoiding. Everyone watching realized they weren't witnessing sadness anymore. They were witnessing honesty. Don't skip now. The most powerful part of this story is still ahead. That evening, your person found themselves alone, reflecting on every moment they had tried so hard to forget. They remembered the smallest details about you, details no one else would ever think were important. A smile that lasted only a second. A conversation that seemed ordinary. A kind gesture almost everyone overlooked. Those memories had quietly become the strongest part of their heart. They finally understood that some people leave footprints that time simply cannot erase. As these thoughts filled their mind, something unexpected happened. A message appeared. It wasn't necessarily from you. It wasn't even about you directly. Yet somehow, it reminded your person of everything they had been hiding. They looked at the screen for several long moments without saying a word. The people nearby noticed the change in their expression. The hidden tears returned. Not because of pain, but because they finally accepted what they had been feeling all along. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The people around your person started seeing a completely different side of them. They became more thoughtful. More patient. More hopeful. It was as if carrying your memory had quietly transformed the way they looked at life. Someone eventually smiled and said, "You've changed." Your person answered with only a gentle smile, but deep inside they already knew the reason. The change had begun the moment they realized that no matter how far life moved forward, their heart always found its way back to thoughts of you. Pause here for 1 second. If these words feel strangely familiar, type the angel number that keeps appearing in your life. Then stay with this message, because what happens next is the moment everything begins shifting. Days later, another unexpected conversation took place. One trusted person looked directly into your person's eyes and calmly asked, "If tomorrow gave you one chance to speak without fear, would you finally tell them the truth?" This time there was no silence. No attempt to hide behind another smile. Your person quietly nodded. That single movement spoke louder than any speech ever could. Everyone present understood that the tears had never been about regret. They had always been about love that had remained unspoken for far too long. Don't skip. Stay till the end. The biggest revelation has still not arrived. Your person is standing closer than ever to a decision that could change everything. The walls around their heart are slowly disappearing. The fear that once kept them silent is becoming weaker with every passing day. Very soon, an unexpected encounter, one unforgettable conversation, and one heartfelt choice will bring this hidden story into the light. When that moment finally arrives, everyone who once wondered why your person tried to hide their tears will discover the answer they never expected, because every hidden emotion, every quiet memory, and every silent hope has always led back to you. No one expected the final clue to appear this way, and the moment it did, every hidden tear suddenly made perfect sense. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. This is not where the story slows down. This is where everything begins moving faster than anyone imagined. Your person believed they could keep carrying these emotions without anyone ever discovering the real reason. But sometimes life reveals the truth through the smallest moments, and one small moment changed absolutely everything. It happened during an ordinary conversation. Someone casually mentioned your future, never realizing how powerful those words would become. Your person's smile disappeared for only a heartbeat, but that heartbeat was enough. Everyone around them noticed the silence. It was not uncomfortable. It was deeply meaningful. One friend quietly whispered, "They're still thinking about that person." Nobody argued. Nobody questioned it. The room had already seen the answer written across your person's face. Don't skip now. The biggest revelation is closer than ever. Later that evening, your person found themselves looking at something connected to you once again. It could have been an old conversation, a familiar place, or a memory that suddenly returned without warning. Instead of looking away, they allowed themselves to feel everything they had hidden for so long. For the first time, they stopped fighting their own heart. They realized those tears had never been a sign of losing someone. They were a sign that what they felt had always been genuine. Stay till the end because something huge is waiting for you. There is another detail that nobody saw coming. Someone who had watched your person quietly for months finally spoke with complete confidence. "I know exactly why you've changed." Those words caught everyone by surprise. Your person looked up, waiting to hear what would come next. The reply was simple, but unforgettable. You never stopped carrying them in your heart. The room became completely silent. No explanation was needed anymore. Every hidden emotion suddenly connected into one complete picture. If this message feels like it reached you at exactly the right moment, type the angel number that keeps appearing in your life, then keep listening. The next part may be the one you've been waiting for. Your person began seeing life differently after that day. Instead of hiding every feeling, they quietly accepted that some connections remain meaningful no matter how much time passes. They no longer asked themselves whether the memories would disappear. Instead, they started wondering what would happen if life unexpectedly brought both paths together again. That single thought filled them with hope they had not felt for a very long time. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. While everyone believed the story had finally reached its conclusion, another unexpected moment was already unfolding behind the scenes. A conversation is about to happen. A truth is about to be spoken without hesitation. Your person is standing on the edge of a decision that could change everything they have been carrying inside. The tears they once tried so hard to hide are no longer a secret. They have become the beginning of a new chapter, one built on honesty instead of silence. The next moment will answer the question that has quietly followed this entire journey: what happens when someone can no longer hide what their heart has known from the very beginning? That answer is closer than ever, and when it finally arrives, everyone who witnessed those hidden tears will understand that they were never the ending of the story, they were always the first sign that something extraordinary was about to begin. Just when everyone believed they had uncovered the entire truth, one final discovery changed everything. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The hidden tears were only the beginning. What happened next explained why your person could never truly move on, no matter how hard they tried. They had spent so much time convincing themselves that silence was the safest choice, but silence had quietly become the loudest voice in their life. The turning point arrived on a completely ordinary day. There was no special event, no dramatic announcement, nothing that seemed unusual. Then someone unexpectedly mentioned your name while talking about the future. Your person stopped walking for just a second. It was such a small moment that most people would have missed it. But not this time. The people around them noticed immediately. One friend looked at another and softly said, "Did you see that?" They all had. The expression on your person's face answered every question before a single word was spoken. Don't skip now. This is where everything begins connecting. Later that same day, your person admitted something they had never admitted before. Not to everyone, but to themselves. They finally accepted that every attempt to forget you had only shown them how important you truly were. Every hidden tear had carried the same message. Every quiet memory had pointed toward the same person. Every hope they tried to bury had quietly survived. Stay till the end because something huge is waiting for you. Then came the moment nobody expected. Someone who had known your person for years smiled gently and said, "I've never seen you react this way about anyone else." The room became silent again. Your person looked down, smiled through emotion, and whispered only a few words. Some people leave a mark that never fades. Nobody asked who they meant. They already knew. If these words found you at exactly the right time, type the angel number that has followed you recently, then keep listening because the next few moments may become the most unforgettable part of this entire story. From that day forward, your person stopped pretending that nothing had changed. They became more honest with themselves. They no longer ran away from memories. Instead, they quietly appreciated them, believing that some connections are meant to teach, strengthen, and transform us. The hidden tears that once embarrassed them had become reminders of something real, something meaningful, something they could no longer deny. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. There is still one final piece that nobody has heard yet. Someone is preparing to say words that will completely reshape your person's understanding of this connection. Those words will not come with noise or drama. They will arrive quietly, but their impact will last far longer than anyone expects. When that conversation finally happens, your person will realize that every hidden tear, every silent moment, and every unanswered question has been leading toward one unforgettable realization. The story is not ending here. It is opening the door to the moment your person has secretly imagined countless times. A meeting, a conversation, or an unexpected sign is closer than they believe. When it arrives, everyone who once wondered why your person tried so hard to hide their tears will finally understand the complete truth. Those tears were never a sign of weakness. They were the quiet beginning of a story that refused to be forgotten, and the next chapter is about to become the most meaningful one of all. The truth finally stepped out of the shadows, and the one person nobody expected became the reason everything changed. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Every hidden tear, every quiet pause, and every unanswered question has been leading to this moment. Your person thought they had buried their emotions so deeply that no one would ever discover them. But the heart always finds a way to reveal what the mind tries to hide. A few days after everyone noticed those silent tears, an unexpected conversation began. Someone who had known your person for a long time calmly said, "You've been carrying something that doesn't belong in silence anymore." Those words stopped your person completely. They didn't look surprised. They looked relieved, as though someone had finally understood what they had been unable to explain. That single sentence opened a door they had kept locked for far too long. Don't skip now. Something huge is waiting for you. Instead of denying it, your person simply looked at the ground and smiled through emotion. That smile was different from every smile before. It wasn't hiding anything anymore. It carried acceptance. It carried hope. It carried the quiet realization that some feelings become stronger because they remain genuine through every season of life. Then something happened that nobody expected. One person quietly placed a hand on your person's shoulder and asked, "If you knew they were listening right now, what would you say?" The room became completely silent. Every eye turned toward your person. They took a slow breath, closed their eyes for a moment, and whispered, "I never stopped wishing them happiness, even when I couldn't be part of it." Those words changed the atmosphere instantly. Everyone understood those hidden tears had never come from bitterness. They came from a heart that had continued caring in silence. Stay till the end because the biggest surprise has still not arrived. From that day on, people around your person stopped encouraging them to forget the past. Instead, they encouraged them to be honest with themselves. They reminded your person that true feelings are never measured by how loudly they are spoken but by how faithfully they remain through time. For the first time in a long while, your person felt lighter. Not because the memories disappeared, but because they finally stopped pretending those memories meant nothing. If these words found you at exactly the right moment, type the angel number that has been following you recently and continue listening. The next revelation may be the one your heart has been waiting for. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you. Later that evening, your person experienced one final moment that they would never forget. A familiar song began playing unexpectedly. It wasn't planned. It wasn't important to anyone else. But to your person, it instantly brought back every meaningful memory connected to you. Instead of looking away, they smiled. Instead of hiding another tear, they quietly accepted it. That was the moment they realized the truth they had spent so long running from. Some people never leave your heart because they were never meant to. Now the story is moving toward its greatest turning point. Someone is about to bring news that your person never imagined hearing. A conversation is closer than it appears. A surprising opportunity is beginning to unfold. Every hidden tear, every silent prayer, and every unforgettable memory has prepared your person for what comes next. When the next chapter begins, everyone who once wondered why your person tried so hard to hide their tears will finally witness the answer unfolding before their eyes, and it will be a moment nobody will ever forget.